So if you don't have the options, right? You can know what the answer is, but if you can't actually bring it, how much is that going to get?
They banned Naga Siren the first 3. They were like, damn, that really screwed us up, huh? Team Sirius are like, fine, we'll take the Warlock for ourselves.
Well, do you just Grimstroke now? Anvorgesa love them so. Oh, but Grimstroke and Seeker are both in the pool. And TA are in the pool. Whoa! And Sand King are in the pool.
Grimstroke, Sand King, I think is a decent opening for
I'd be
them.
down for that.
So Nyx and Lash are also banned.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
Grimstroke,
You can't actually bring it.
Sven,
How much is it?
another opening. I don't mind Sven right now. It's one of the few like opening core picks.
Yeah, but I think K1 enjoys the Wraith King more than the Sven
Yeah.
whenever he has availability for both. I think he also picked Juggernaut in one
Radiant
game.
team pick.
But anything that takes advantage of the ink skill, and they go for Whisper's Sand King. How's Whisper's Sand King in pubs? What's that like? Do you lose to it often? Is that why you don't like him?
Pick.
I will tell you that it has nothing to do with his play inside the game.
Oh, I see.
Unless items are somehow falling out of his pockets and end up on the ground.
You know, I've
somehow.
seen that
I don't
happen.
know. It's the weirdest.
It's an epidemic.
It's like, see, Rich, there's this weird thing. You know how, like, in Dota 2, you put your item and it goes into your, like, stash. It's like it goes into your pocket sort of deal.
You have, like, an inventory.
In the
10 seconds
server
remaining.
United States East,
Yes.
there's this weird phenomenon
5
where
seconds
items
remaining.
just, it's like people have holes in their pockets.
The gravity
It just falls.
it's upside down.
It just slips out and it ends up on the ground.
And sometimes, you
the
know-
enemy team picks it up, and next thing you know, you've lost the game because somebody's items are on the ground.
Or Sand King's hands are so heavy, sometimes he hits the items whenever they're lying on
yeah,
the ground.
that
Like,
happens too. I've seen Whisper do that a few times.
this is a bug, I think.
Batrider pickup for Team Sirius, which one of the other things I really want Sirius to do is be able to set up a strong aggro tri-lane to be able to attack Hector's farm and have a superior offlane matchup. And I feel like that's one of the best things that Batrider often does for you is there are so many 1v1 offlaners that matchups that he
10
wins.
seconds
So Whisper
remaining.
just smokes you in pubs all day long.
That's the takeaway.
Yeah, that's where you're getting
5
from it. Yes,
seconds
yeah.
remaining.
Whisper's a really good player.
You're very eager on the tri-lane aspect already without even seeing like an AA that kind of leads into that sort of thing.
I'm just talking about overall.
Oh, okay.
I don't even necessarily know if it's what you want to do for this game. Right now, Anvorgesa have set themselves up for very strong dual lanes
Yeah.
with having a kill combo like this.
Okay, so strong kill combo on the side of Anvorgesa. Warlock and a Batrider for Team Sirius. Nothing too crazy yet, but it's still early in this draft.
Got to ban away some of the better Batrider counters. Lifestealer as a laning hero. I think it's worth considering Oracle as well.
Dire team back.
I would be okay with
Radiant
that. At one point, we
team
used to
back.
see Weaver
Ban instead.
picked very commonly against a Batrider as a laning combo or a laning counter. Don't really see it that much these days. I know Nahaz proposed the possibility of a Weaver in the previous panel. The hero's just not that good.
Kyle just like yelled at him for
He
no
did.
reason.
I saw
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
just mean at that point.
Dude, Kyle's grouchy today.
Ew, that
Yeah.
song is like, well, you know, I mean, they can pick this, I guess.
Maybe you can take him somewhere
10
where he'll
seconds
be able to
remaining.
calm down a little bit.
Have a
more.
good time.
Can't imagine where I would take a guy like
5
that to
seconds
In
remaining.
Kiev,
get
Somewhere to help him unwind.
running out of
I have
ideas.
no idea, but especially, man, he's definitely not in a good mood. We'll have to figure something out. But the other people who are going to have to figure something out are Anvorgesa and Team Sirius in this draft. You don't want to be losing here. This is the first and only elimination series of the day. Mentioned some things that you might need to consider right now when you're looking at a Batrider on the side of Team Sirius. Are we starting to see any of that come to fruition yet, Cap?
Radiant team pick.
Who's this? Tiny Rubik. So what are the 4 positions that are still really strong out there? There is the.
I mean, Earth Spirit's
Earth
great,
Spirit.
but Anvorgesa doesn't really play it that much.
No, I'm mostly thinking about Team Sirius's 4 position
Oh,
because
okay.
I feel like you want a
10
hero that's going to be able to
seconds
play with Batrider and get kills and make up for the fact that
5
Warlock
seconds remaining.
can't actually make kills happen. He's
Yeah.
just like he's a static laning phase hero, and
He's a
then on
team
top of
fight
that, he's
winner.
a big team fight winner, but he doesn't actually make like small skirmishes work for you. Meanwhile, Anvorgesa, I feel like you can go
Dire team pick.
any number of directions
Oh well, I mean,
with just opening with a kill combo.
because I was thinking like Lion is a 4 position that Sirius found quite a bit of success with.
There wasn't really too many Dispels left because the Oracle was banned in the first phase, the Abandon was banned in the second.
My girl Legion Commander, though. Isn't she going to be viable at some point?
The one armor buff.
The thing is
maybe she just keeps on getting one armor for every single patch. She'll come back.
Dude, it'll happen.
Or maybe Ice Frog will institute a patch where the shrine is, you can hit the shrine at 0 minutes again. That'll bring Legion Commander back as well.
That brings the jungle Legion Commander back. I don't want that. The thing is, with Omni Knight's Dispel, it's on a much higher cooldown, so it begs the question why they prefer that over...
Radiant
well,
team
yeah, I mean... Oh, okay, never mind, the Oracle was banned out, and Sirius will scoop up the Sven.
Which is kind of interesting just because they have a bit of an answer from Anvorgesa already with the ultimate from Omni Knight.
Right.
And it also means Anvorgesa are going to be running the 4-position Sand King. We're seeing a lot of teams do this where they're prioritizing the Inkswell aspect. Even though it got nerfed so many times, people started focusing more on Stroke and the Silence from Grimstroke. But just of like this minor and maybe a little bit of Birmingham, we've been seeing these like just these combos.
You're pretty confident that 4 Omni is not a thing?
I don't like Wraith King so much here. First of all, because I think he does suffer to Bat Rider, and I think I like Sven versus Wraith King in a lot of ways because you have this God Strength where you beat down this Wraith King once and you're still stronger in a team fight because you have this God Strength active.
And you'll slice through all of his skeletons. Your War Cry is very, very useful for your entire team.
It's not like you run out of damage, right? That's what Wraith King is best at, is when you have a burst-heavy lineup where this Wraith King is playing on the front lines and you have to ignore him because killing him once just, you know, there goes all your damage.
I mean, for what it's worth, though, you only have one lasso. You only have one way to initiate on him, and a Sand King can quickly follow up, and you may have the Omni Knight for the second life.
Another thing that I do want to call into question, too, is this just potentially a comfort pick? Because Tsunami, you were already starting to talk about that a little bit earlier on.
The dude likes his Wraith Kings, and I don't blame him. It's an extremely strong carry of this tournament. Him and Sven are basically the carries of the tournament, as far as I'm concerned. I still prefer Wraith King in a vacuum, because I think Wraith King is more useful between fights than Sven is, because he can take structures and Roshan a little bit more quickly. But it's also just a comfort thing.
So from here, you're either going to like draw out the game because Anvorgesa does have this really big 20 to 35 minute like team fight window. They've got relatively good lanes. So you're either going to try and draw out the game by getting yourself more split pushing, or you're going to need a better initiator than just Bat Rider because he's solved from the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
His initiation is fixed. So now like these heroes like Earth Spirit or Shaker give you a better opportunity to be able to get clean initiations that burst down Omni Knight or get at least some of the supports out of the way before the saves come in. Oh man, the SF was picked up by Sirius? Anvorgesa was a team who just blind third picked for no reason Shadow Fiend and lost horribly.
Maybe what preemptive, if they're confident they think they can beat a Chris Luck TA.
That was Anvorgesa, right?
Yeah, I was not listening, to be honest.
Game 2. They just like
do you know what he said?
SF.
Anvorgesa locked
That's
in
fine.
Shadow
I'm
Fiend.
talking to myself. I'm talking to the only guy who has above 5,000 MMR at this point. So.
Hey, you're also talking to Twitch chat. Combined, their
so
MMR
there's like
is
3 people that I'm talking to right now. Hi.
Their combined MMR in Twitch chat is unlimited.
That's not how the numbers work.
So I don't know what they will ban out. Like, how heavily do you want to protect this SF? How concerned are you about ASD losing mid lane, or are you just wanting something that wouldn't ruin your strategy?
I think you have to ban
10 seconds
TA,
remaining.
right?
I think they think the ASD can beat a TA.
5 seconds.
Like, I would agree. Normally, I would ban out the TA, but
TA isn't that good against some of the other heroes that they have on Sirius.
I mean, they can always just send the Bat Rider mid also.
Oh yeah, Kunkka dumpsters SF really well too.
Yes,
I forgot about that mid hero. We've only seen it once or twice in this tournament. He just kind of fell by the wayside. And they actually banned away the Brewmaster, so they... Have we seen Sirius play a 4-position Brewmaster, or do they think this is a support Bat Rider? Either way, it's their Spirit that we talked about like 3 picks ago.
Yeah, which is... It's so weird to see our Spirit saved so late into drafts these days. Still weird to see Io and Chen completely unbanned also. I don't know, it's taking a little bit of adjustment for me to learn that patches can substantially change the drafts.
10 seconds.
No,
So there's a lot of
Anvorgesa.
damage over time, but the TA could still let you hit a window because it's also a
5
Roche
seconds
taker.
remaining.
There's still some later game carries.
I mean, Sirius are clearly baiting the TA though.
There's
They want Anvorgesa to pick it.
there's a bit of late game here on like Morphs, ODs.
Maybe like a Queen of Pan.
I don't like Quap against. I mean, maybe with the Omni Knight it makes it better, but I don't like the Quap for the Earth Spirit.
Or you can go for a strength hero. Try to double down on Omni Knights being so useful in that regard. Don't have to always use the Grace on the Wraith King.
Well, the best mid is DK, and I'm not sure if this is a good DK
Huskar, let's go.
game.
No, Monkey King.
You may now select
Monkey
your
King
That-
SF with an Earth Spirit behind
Yeah,
him.
I hate that matchup as a Monkey King.
That's gonna be a little bit questionable. Maybe we're gonna see, I don't know, some sort of dual lane or. I mean, because they have to be able to protect the Wraith King's game also.
Yeah, and
like the Wraith
Batrider.
King,
Wraith King versus Batrider.
I could see how Sirius abuses the Hector's game somehow, whether through it's an aggro tri-lane, which I don't think their aggro tri-lane is the best, or just setting up those dual lanes where they have this kill lane. But if they have the kill lane and they only have one support for the Wraith King, then Earth Spirit Batrider is going to be like really oppressive for
I
him
think
to deal with.
Batrider alone is too oppressive because the Omni Knight, if he's sitting there protecting his Wraith King the entire time, then that means your mid lane has a chance to get abused. I don't think Monkey King can single-handedly win versus a Shadow Fiend who's incredibly skilled with Shadow Fiend. Like if it was just a normal both players same MMR kind of thing, I think ASD is the superior mid laner, and I think he will be able to win this off mechanics.
All right, so let's take the teams out of it for a second. Just look at the draft by itself. It's pretty clear. It seems like Sirius is one to you guys.
I mean, it's not that heavy. Just because of the fact that you do have this, like you have the counter of the Omni Knight up against the Batrider. You're able to stop a lot of this initiation.
And the Omni Knight versus the Sven.
And you've got this build-up. You've got a lot of build-up where if you hit your timing still, which Hector really needs to do with his Midas Radiance, then they can just start rolling over the enemy team at about 25, 30 minutes and build that advantage more and more into... The Monkey King's a little weird because it doesn't give them any real big objective taker, so they just got to kill over and over and over again.
All right, so you heard how our analysts think that this matchup can potentially play out, but let's just see it. This is going to be an elimination series. Who's going to be going home?
That's the most serious I've heard Rich talk all day, and it is the last series. Elimination, Kyle. It's on the line. Who can push forward, and who was the first team out in the playoffs? It still was really great. Anvorgesa, the fact they managed to actually reach this point is great credit to them, but it feels like through this draft, they don't have the same combination that they've had previously, whereas the Magnus, it's the big AoE controllers that just let them get back into this game. In fact, it's like the opposite direction, where the Warlock is now in the hands of Sirius Black.
Yep.
I mean, Sirius.
Yeah, I don't like the synergy they have with the Grimstroke. And in addition, Monkey King into Batrider?
Yeah.
Into an SF with an Earth Spirit roaming? Like, it just does not feel like Anvorgesa have a lineup that's in control of the win conditions.
And you see
I'm
where
very
Sirius
afraid
is
for them.
moving. A four-man smoke up that can wrap around the back of Whisper as well as Jericho. You know, still,
And they see him.
yeah. Like, what do you do when you're Jericho and Whisper here? Like, they're going to move up. Look for the initial stun from Sylar, cut the tree, get the extra vision. They're moving on Whisper. He gets a three-man Burrow Strike and tries to retreat back out again. This is Whisper. He has been one of the biggest players for Anvorgesa. So many times does he just get out of positions or get into positions he needs to be. And he gets out.
Yeah, well done. I expected them to just chase after Jericho. He almost certainly goes down. There's no teleports available. Sand King, of course, has that stun available. Unfortunately, they don't get the first blood, but they do secure the 2 runes.
Yep. They reveal themselves, at least. So, yeah, they know the laning phase. A very deep Observer Ward planted down by Anvorgesa, so they see very, very deep up. And the Grimstroke's just holding the lane until the SK is able to heal up and TP back.
And you can see Firefly looks like he'll be looking to camp the courier mid.
That'll be a huge thing. It already felt like a bad lane for a Monkey King, right?
yeah.
So if you can get rid of the courier too.
Yep, Salve's on the way. This is very grim for Chris Luck. If he doesn't use... Oh, wait. No,
Wait.
never mind. Teleported away.
Yeah, TP down. The courier's on the way now, but obviously not enough patience.
And we'll see how this game progresses, but I just got to favor the dire side of Sirius in both mid and top lanes. And that scares me, because I feel like Anvorgesa's got to just run this game over. They're missing that natural way to push towers. Sirius, not the greatest methods either, but their team fight's just so much stronger once we hit the mid game.
Yeah. I guess a lot of survivability, it's silences, it's stuns, it's the whole shebang, and it's damage amplification on multiple fronts, not just like through like the Firefly for Injuly directly, but the Fatal Bonds.
And look bottom as well. I mean, obviously, because of that Heavenly Grace, it is a strong Dispel, so you will be able to remove the Bat Rider Napalm, but it's just not a great matchup for Wraith King, and it means that Stinger effectively has to stay bottom if he wants his Wraith King to be able to land.
When it actually comes to the team fight, like at that point, do you say like, well, you're looking to also dispel off what Warlock throws out, so you're happy to let the Wraith King die? Like K1's played this hero a lot. In fact, a lot of teams have played this hero a lot, and doesn't care about the initial pop. So, how does Sirius actually have the sustained damage once they get through the Wraith King? I know I'm talking a lot like later into the game right now, but I'm trying to work out how these big team fights come down for Sirius.
Most likely just with the Bat Rider initiation, and perhaps in roll forward by the Spirit. They just want to commit. I think we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if the AST goes for the magic build with the right click on the Shadow Fiend. I trust him though. I think he's been one of the best mid players in this tournament. They were a bit off today, but they've had enough time. They were relaxing the player lounge all day, talking, seemed in good spirits.
And just consume some burgers. You'll be fine. They're always up there.
Yeah, they didn't serve burgers today. They're only hot dogs, so I'm
Didn't
not sure
they?
they're not completely prepared.
Oh, it just feels like you're taking the soul out of this team now. It's like, is he chasing the courier into base with the haste rune? Stinger, that's a little deep, bro.
That's an interesting play.
Yeah, I don't think he also wants to take this creep wave. It's going to change the balance like with the Monkey King. And he's delayed it up a little bit. There's some creep pulling on bottom lane as well. Just trying to have Injuly doing Injuly things. Also nice to have actually, one, cast a taunt with Injuly in it, but two, have him on Bat Rider. This is one of his signatures.
Indeed it is. And I like what he's doing, you know, just pulling the lane. He recognizing, this Omni Knight's annoying. He's dispelling my napalm. I don't want to do this anymore. He'll just free farm behind tower instead. And there's no real catch support for Anvorgesa, so rotating would have to be done by Whisper, and he's obviously going to look to stay top, continue accelerating against the Sven.
Actually got ES even looking to gank up a mid lane, but he can't get on top of Chris Luck, not while the Omni Knight's sitting behind. And Stinger's doing a really great job of getting information. Like they always seem to know where Sirius is moving across the map. So the duel stays exactly that up on the top lane, but Wraith King gets solo experience on the bottom.
That's true.
Pushing him up faster, and we've seen Wraith Kings that can force down lanes fast. We've seen 8-minute Midases normally out from them as well. But it's that pushing power you get from a Wraith King against the tier 1 tower that Bat Rider will have to do something about, while Whisper getting aggressive. They've got the Ink Swell, the stun will connect over on Destiny. As the Dire have killed off in July. I don't think that was what he really intended. Another quick slow with the stroke, but Whisper needs to finish the job on Destiny. Have Jericho and Whisper gotten up? The first blood spilled by Sylar. He'll actually get the money for it. It still ends up being a 1-1 trade-off, but having that extra cash get into the hands of Sylar, this is a man that knows what to do with money.
For sure. I want to bring up the mid lane where Shadow Fiend is a bit behind, and Monkey King maintaining lane control on his hill. So even though the Earth Spirit of Firefly has been off map and free because the Bat Rider's been back laning, still doing a great job of maintaining his lane presence.
And he just consumed the Observer Ward too.
And to your point, K1 is huge, Toby. He is already at 37 CS. He's